welcome back to my channel. I hope I made that super awkward for you. Oh, you're still here. Welcome back. Alright, so today we are back with another story time. Story time, if you know, you know. This is another painting from 2021. It's one of the pieces that is one of my absolute favorites. It was a little bit of a challenge to paint, but once I got through the artist block, it was quite the dream. So, I created this painting in 2021, and it is beautiful, okay? There's a lot of different elements in it. I've talked about this before. This one is called This Too Shall Pass. There's a little semicolon here. It means that your story is not over. If you are a new person to my channel, I just want you to know that all of my art is based around mental health awareness. It's pulling the light out of the darkness. That's been my initiative for the past, how long have I been painting? 5-ish years or more again, because I stopped doing art for about 8 years after my mom passed away. So this is a good reminder to people that this skull here represents life and death. So basically with the flames around it, it's like the death of your old self and a rebirth that's coming. And then out of this, everything is rising. Here's your sadness. And what do clouds need to do before they're not clouds anymore? They need to rain. They need to relieve themselves. They have to go to the bathroom. Okay, they're not pissing on you, I promise. Or are they? It's kind of like us, you know, us humans with emotions. It's like it builds and builds and builds and builds until you finally crack and you just release the emotions. And maybe you're a person that really doesn't cry. Maybe you're a person that really doesn't struggle with your mental health. But the ones that do, the tender-hearted ones that are extremely sensitive, like myself, you cry all the time. All the time. You cry when you're happy, you cry when you're sad, you cry when you're angry, or yes, all of the above. You cry all the time. So that's what that means. It represents depression and sadness, but smiling through the pain, obviously not toxic positivity by any means, but there's a lot of times in my life where I put on a fake smile and acted like everything was okay when it was not, clearly. So this was a really fun piece. I wanted to make sure it had checkers in it. It was inspired by a painting that I created back in high school, actually. The art teacher, Mr. E, he was pretty cool. He is a cool man. But Mr. E, if you're watching this, hi. So I was one of the only freshmen that was allowed to paint a mural on the wall, and I painted a huge skeleton. I wished I had a photo of it. And it had like these checkers coming. Like I think the skeleton had like a side profile and there were these checkers, and then they were breaking off and coming at the face, and there were like flames around it. It was pretty cool. It was pretty good for a 9th grade doing artwork, and that's pretty rare for a freshman to be trusted to paint on the walls of a school. I was the chosen one. So that's what this one was inspired by. I wanted to create something similar but a completely different, have my own little spin on it. Obviously, you can tell I was emo. Not much has changed. I love checkers, I love skeletons, I love the shoes, Vans, I love Vans. I love Vans, this is not sponsored. Vans, if you're watching this, please sponsor me because I love your shoes. I have like 8 pairs. Anyways, the rose represents delicate. The delicate, the soft parts of yourself, okay? And we got this little river of happiness flowing through here. It's like, oh wow, life sucks, I'm sad, and life seems like it's on fire. So you got the water cooling it off. You got your tears here, kind of calming down the flames a little bit, putting the fire out because you gotta let that shit out, you know what I'm saying? And throughout all of that, you have this happiness line here. And the reason why it's curved like that is because happiness is not linear. Happiness is up and down. And I've noticed in my life that chasing happiness and joy was nearly impossible. I think that it's all based on perception, and I'm still in a place in my life where I'm constantly trying to rewire my negative thinking patterns, my thoughts. I have been working on my brain for a hot minute. I've been trying to out with those old thoughts and in with the new ones. And let me tell you guys, if you're a person that struggles with mental health, you understand that. You understand this. When those thoughts are invading your mind, they're loud, they're ruthless, and it's hard to get out of it sometimes. And a lot of times people say, well, just think differently. Well, Susan, if I would just snap my fingers and do that. I totally would have done that 25 minutes ago before I was having a tizzy fit inside of my head. Emotions can be deep, especially when you've experienced trauma. I myself have experienced a lot of trauma in my life, and I struggled for a very long time, nearly a decade. I still have my struggles, I still have low moments. I'm a lot better than I used to be. I've really put in the work to heal myself. I want to become a better version of myself. I know I'm never going to be perfect. There's always going to be battles in our life that we fight, and they're different. Everybody's giants are different. They vary from person to person. You could struggle with one thing and the next person wouldn't struggle with it, vice versa. Maybe you have a friend that struggles in relationships and you don't. Maybe you have, a sibling that struggles with letting things go and you don't. We all struggle with our different things because we're so diverse as humans. We're so completely different. There's so many different parts to us. We have different thinking patterns, we have different feelings, we have different emotions for different things. You could show a person the color blue, and I'm sure if you showed 10 people the color blue and you held up a card and you'd be like, what emotion does this bring you? Chances are there's going to be at least 3 responses. Maybe they feel cold, maybe they think of a cloud. Like, what's the first word that comes to you? Comment down below if you're watching this far into the video, because I'm generally curious. When you think of the color blue, and let me know, when I think of the color blue, I think of, put in your response, because otherwise I won't remember, because this video's a long ways away, okay? It's a long ways away, and my brain can't remember everything, so help a sister out if you could. We all internalize things differently, and I think there's a big stigma around mental health awareness, because a lot of people, 95%, I would have to say, struggle with vulnerability, and I know this because of the people in my life. If I was going through a really hard time in my life, I can't just pick up the phone and call anybody, and that's not a diss towards anyone. I've dealt with so much by myself that it's hard to trust people, because I've noticed in my life, when I show the weak parts of myself, people run away. And it makes me feel like I'm supposed to be perfect. And that's a big reason why I show those parts of myself on my channel, the ugly moments, the parts where I'm impatient with myself, the parts where I'm crying, the moments where I'm anxious, the moments when I'm depressed, or I say I'm struggling with something. None of that is for clout whatsoever. I just want people to feel like they're not alone, because I have big emotions too sometimes, and there's a lot of shit that I'm trying to deal with in my life, and there's a lot of things that I'm trying to heal through. And I think one of the hardest things in my life is when I have big emotions, it's not that I'm relying on people to fix it or anything, but sometimes I wish that people would just listen. I think at the end of the day, we just want to be listened to, we want to be seen, we want to be understood. And one thing that I've noticed in life is when people act like your emotions are too much for them, they might be. They probably are too much for them. Because time and time again, I've been reminded that there's a lot of skeletons in people's closets. They're afraid to face themselves. And if you are a person that's going to therapy, you're going to the doctor, you're trying to put in the work, maybe you're taking an antidepressant, maybe you're taking an anti-anxiety medication, maybe you're trying really hard to change your life, maybe you're getting back into your lifestyle things, maybe you're cooking, maybe you're growing a garden, maybe you're getting outside more. I just want to tell you how proud of you I am today. I want to tell you that you're strong and resilient, and the fact that you're willing to face yourself says a lot about you as a person. And maybe somebody never told you that, but I want to tell you that today, because it takes a brave person to face themselves. And I know I'm talking to someone on the other side of the screen today. Even if it touched one person, I know there's one of you out there. I can feel it deep in my heart. I've been a person with big emotions my whole life. I've been known as the sensitive one. I've been called a crybaby in my family. But who's the first person that everybody calls? What would Tyler do? I don't know, man. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm doing, but I sure have a lot of good advice. I just have to be a little bit patient with myself, and sometimes I'm guilty of not taking my own advice. And I'm reminded, I'm humbled in life, and people are like, well, maybe you're sharing too much on your channel, maybe you're like sharing too much of this and that. I gotta grab my painting here. I set it down because my battery died. People are like, well, maybe, maybe you're sharing too much, or maybe you're being too vulnerable. And it's like, I'm not afraid of humility. What is sharing my struggles gonna do? Have somebody perceive me in a different way? I don't care. You know? And if that person were to act like they didn't struggle with anything, they're a liar. They are a liar, okay? They're a liar, okay? Don't listen to them. Okay, Linda, don't listen to them because they're liars. Yes, and if you constantly chase joy, you will end up in stitches every single time because that is not possible. You can try and be happy, but joy comes in moments. Happiness comes in moments. It comes in waves because there's gonna be highs and lows in life, and I've had a lot of lows and I'm waiting for my highs. Trust me, there's been a lot of really good moments. I am grateful for those, but it's hard when you've put in the work and you're in a season of waiting. I'm in a season of waiting for a lot of different things in my life, and I get a little bit impatient. I'm having deja vu right now. Did I say that before in a different video? I have no idea, so if you're going through a struggle in life, this too shall pass. I'm not telling you to think happy. I'm not telling you to be positive. What I'm telling you today, cry about it. If you're sad, cry. If you're angry, let that shit out. I mean, not on somebody else. Don't be beating no one up, okay? This is a safe space. Don't be hurting nobody. Don't hurt yourself. There's healthy ways to express anger, and everyone's like, oh my god, that person's angry, like, oh my god. Like, there's people who use anger as a negative thing and they're abusive or whatever. That's not what I'm saying at all. There are healthy ways to get that anger out, whether it's creating something. All it is energy. Whether you're journaling about it, whether you're working out, or you have to kickbox, or, kick something's ass that's not a person, probably just punching bags, okay? Maybe go to a crash room. Sometimes I need to do that. Anger is one of the emotions that I struggle with, and the reason why I struggle with anger is because usually what's underneath anger is the underlying factor is hurt. I get hurt a lot, and I'm trying not to take things so personally in life, but it's hard when you can sense everything. I can pick up on vibes. When my gut tells me something's off, it's off. I have a woman's intuition, but I also have a crazy intuition about how I know things that I don't know how I know, and people are like, how do you know that? I'm like, I don't know how I know that I know what I know that I know that I know how I know that, So maybe you're the same kind of person, but if you are struggling, things will get better. I know it's easier said than done in some moments. Sometimes it feels like you're literally dying inside, but usually what comes with that is a rebirth, and sometimes I need that reminder too. I actually needed that reminder today, so thank you, self. Pat myself on the back. Anyways, I do have prints available for this. I have greeting cards. I think I ordered stickers. They're coming up on the way in the mail, and then I ordered prints. So I have, what are they, 8.5 by 11. They'll be laser prints. All of it's available on my website. I'll shove links down below. If I forget, remind me. Leave me a comment, be like, girl, you didn't put those links. And I'll be like, I'm sorry. That's right, I forgot. So my website is www.rockandbakken.com. I just want to thank you so much for watching this video. If you made it to the end, let me know. Drop me a comment. Maybe share your journey of where you're at in life. Tell me if you're struggling. I'd love to be there for you. Sometimes I think all we need is to know that there's somebody that cares out there, and I do. So I don't want you to feel alone, because you're not. And I love you. So have a great rest of your day. Until the next one, my homages. Peace out. This too shall pass. I'm telling you, it will. It'll get better. It'll get better. I hope it made you smile. Bye.